Now, we're left with only less than 50 days before we enter the new year of 2025. But I tell you what, in the Kingdom of Eswatini, sporting activities in different sporting associations are taking center stage. We'll talk about different issues aligning with other sporting activities, including the Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council. The Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Dlomo, will be in the studio just to break down some of the issues and give us also, the rules and regulations that are followed when a specific association is not doing things accordingly. So we'll have that prime time with the Chief Executive Officer. And later on, we'll have Zakele Dlamini, President of Athletics, of other issues that are related to competition, including some of the workshops they have this week. And later on, the issue of Mbabane Highlanders and the man who's been making headlines today, the national team Sihlangu Semnigati head coach Lugorozic, who is nowhere to be found. All that is going to be alive on Eswatini TV on your edition of Temidlalo on Thursday. Tell you that this show every day, every Thursday, is brought to you by KFC Eswatini as the title sponsor. And sit tight through your school channel at home or any other channels that you're using to watch us, which is YouTube, or it could be other socials to be part of the conversation. Now, without wasting any time, I'm already joined by the Chief Executive Officer of the Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council himself, Babe Darius Dlomo, who has vested experience when it comes to issues of sports in the country.
Oh no, siyabonga Fabrics.
Yes.
Siyabonga siphilile. Siyabonga nje nokuthi ungasimema kule platform yenu.
Yes.
Sitoteka Temidlalo.
Yes, sicela kuveta siyokuqala ukuthi it's not easy to get you to be here in the studio. Ayangena my invitation every day in your office.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There's always a postponement. No, you're not available. But finally you are here.
Yeah, siyambonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi
Yes.
sikhona sitouva ukuthi besingahlephula ini lengasite eMaswati.
Okay.
Ukuthi umdlalo ihambe kahle vele.
I think the biggest question is ngaqala ngayo CEO ukuthi I think to give the viewer also the understanding when you say sport council, because that's the singasho ukuthini ngumtali wawonke ama sporting codes lesinawo la vini ukuthi kahle kahle uyini umsebenzi wa sport council. Nasingaqala lapho ukuthi wendane kahle kahle sport council as the parent or the mother or the father of all the sporting codes.
Actually, when you say the council is a parent, it may not be 100% correct.
Yes.
When you look at the mandate.
Okay.
The mandate of the Sports Council is in two folds.
Okay.
One, the council is the regulator of sport in Eswatini. I'll break it down. And the second mandate is the council is a promoter of sport in Eswatini. Now, let's start with the function of being the regulator. It primarily speaks to three things, yes. One, to ensure that there is no human trafficking through sport. That's one aspect. You would note that the nature of sport is that there is a lot of traveling for international assignments. And if we do not have regulations to guard against that, sport can be used for human trafficking. People can leave the country in the name of sport and never to come back. People may come into the country in the name of sport and may disappear. So we're talking human trafficking, which we need to guard against. The second aspect is money laundering.
Okay.
Our sports bodies are autonomous bodies that are affiliated to the various respective international federations, from which they are mandated to drive their different mandates of those respective sports custodians, and they receive money.
Okay.
And they receive money. So, as a regulator, we need to ensure that the money that is being received by our national federations is one that is in order, that is clean, and that is not money that could be coming elsewhere other than their international federations or maybe their sponsors or whatever. Because if we are not careful about that, sport can be used for money laundering. You know, they can easily be led by mafias, and if there is nobody that supervises the money that gets into our sporting bodies, then we're in trouble.
On the African continent, sorry to cut you, CEO, I'm actually sharing a good news to you. I think you'll be proud as the CEO. There are 2 African countries, there was DRC recently, they have actually followed what we initiated as a country.
Yes.
The Shuguma program, can you imagine?
Oh,
where,
beautiful.
Yeah, where you go into different parts of the country. We're one of the few countries on the continent that started that initiative.
Yes.
You're working with government to reach different parts of the country. And it's growing so well as a program.
Actually, that is the other mandate that I'm going to speak to.
Okay.
The promotion aspect.
Okay.
The council as a promoter of sport. But I was still speaking to council as a regulator. The third aspect of
beautiful numbers.
The third aspect of that is the council now licensing sports bodies.
Okay.
Now the licensing aspect is in respect of the council providing a service recognition on behalf of government.
Okay.
It is a licensing body, so everybody carries or must carry an annual license.
Okay.
So at the close of each year, we sit down with each one of those sporting bodies to review their activities, to see what they are doing, to check their financials, get into the money that they have been receiving from government and see whether those monies are properly accounted for and they are correctly captured in the financials. We look at their plans for the ensuing year, and then we give them recognition for the ensuing year, or we give them a license. A license disc to be on the road or to be part of the sport movement, if I were to be more precise.
Do you need license for such programs, Shuguma program?
No.
Yeah, it's a
I'm talking about
the associations.
The association now, the sporting bodies, to say for them to be able to access government funding, they need to carry a license. They need to be recognized. But any other person can practice sport wherever they are, at the recreational level, or even for just passive sport in its true sense. And we will not be bothered. We're talking about those that will require government help in terms of funding. And when we give that funding, it has got to be aligned with key performance areas of sports development, a continuum, but also those that are aligned to the government national development strategy.
And I think the elephant in the room, CEO, is to address some of the biggest issues. It comes to ethical related issues. To say, yes, we've seen government officials, including ministers, we can see them even on the screen, awarding different sporting codes, and they're doing everything, ensuring that they motivate the athletes. There is a minister of sports also motivating different athletes in other sporting activities. Now, when there is issues within the association, I'm driving somewhere where I think the public wants to hear your explanation.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I think for the past 4-5 months, we've had close to 5 sporting associations, different sporting associations, taking matters to court. Do they consult you before they go to court? Do you have a tribunal hearing that assess these issues? What's the process when issues for them to be taken to court?
That is choice. That is choice, Fabrice. They do not have to report to us on whatever action that they take. Why? Because sport, by its nature, is autonomous, particularly of government or any other organ, for that matter. The practice of sport is enshrined on the IOC Charter.
International Olympic.
Yes,
Committee.
it's the Olympic Charter
Okay.
that defines practice of sport. And that Olympic Charter has become a blueprint of sports governance. In other words, it is sports order. It gives sport bodies autonomy to do what is right in terms of how they govern themselves, elections and whatsoever, except in cases where they access and use government funding.
Okay.
Then they have got to account for those.
Okay.
Now, having said that, is as and when the year ends, the Sports Council as a regulator has a governance framework which assesses each one of those sports bodies, whether they align themselves with the governance frameworks.
Okay.
Do you have an executive board?
Okay.
How often does it hold meetings?
Things, yeah.
Where are the minutes? Do you adhere to your founding documents, the Constitution? Have you held timeously your AGM? What is the feeling around your constituents?
Okay.
And perceptions there too.
But how concerned are you? So, yes.
Yes, I'm going to come to where I think you you want to direct. I don't want to be sensational
on the issue.
on issues and be impulsive. Having said that, sport is autonomous.
Okay.
Now, for us as a regulator, we allow the internal structures of each sporting body to be exhausted, to speak to issues. That's autonomy. Now, we want them to exhaust those structures such that there can be two things that may happen. If it's a question of maladministration or malgovernance, we will spot it at the annual review. But because we are the regulator and independent of their operations, from what is rolling out, we have noted that there is a need to provide an intervention that will mitigate that. I do not want to jump the gun, but from what we are seeing currently, there is a need for a sports ombudsman.
Okay.
Who is going to investigate maladministration and malgovernance and any other complaints related to such issues.
Okay.
And that can only happen if complaints come out from their respective constituencies.
But see, do they come to you? Those ones you just say, malpractitioners, the issues of governing.
Yes.
Have they come to some of them?
They don't have to come to us because the structure that we have are independent structures. It's just that they operate being sanctioned by us.
Okay.
Take note, we have a national sport tribunal.
Okay.
The tribunal is different from what I'm bringing on board now, the sport ombudsman.
Okay.
Because sports ombudsman would deal with malgovernance, maladministration.
Okay.
But when you take the tribunal now, the tribunal is a national appellate structure where sporting decisions, protests have to go through. So that is what we need to intensify and activate. To say, if we have a complaint that is sporting in nature, Swim Lab is complaining against maybe what has been done, unfair treatment in the field of play at the swimming pool, and they lodge a protest. It will go through the swimming structures. There are disciplinary committees. There are swimming appeals board.
Okay.
And if people are still not satisfied, then that matter can be taken to the Sports Council for reference, to refer it, not to try it, or try even to say anything about it. Refer it to an independent national tribunal. It's there. But in its nature, it is ad hoc. It is constituted as and when there is a need.
Okay.
I don't want to make examples of what it's at play at the moment. So, but I'm just saying, if there is a problem at darts, maybe let me speak about the sporting bodies.
Can be any sporting code, darts, football, athletics, any.
And then we are saying, according to the Olympic Charter, you exhaust your internal structures in terms of appeals. And when you exhaust them, then you can come and refer the matter to the ad hoc national tribunal. And if you are still not satisfied
by the tribunal, yes,
by the national tribunal,
yes,
then you have the Court of Sport Arbitration, CAS. That is what the Olympic Charter says. So that applies to any sporting body that is worth its salt, that affiliates to the IOC through its international federation. And these structures work. Even the highest body, which is CAS, it will actually give you a judgment between 10 and 15 days, so long as you file your protest or whatever complaints and fulfill all those requirements. They have got sports personnel scattered throughout the world.
Okay.
So that if there is a case in Swaziland, they could be having a team of lawyers, one of them in Africa or so, that they can convene to look at that matter.
Okay.
And in no time, 2 weeks, you have your judgment.
Okay.
So that is the spirit
of sports.
Of sport. That
okay.
Sport issues should not be taken outside sports structures. First, internally, using the autonomy of the sport and respecting the autonomy of the sport body. But if you are not happy, then you come and say, yeah, but we have a national structure. I'm going there.
Which is Sport Council. Sport Council.
Which is not the Sports Council, the tribunal.
All right. So who refers them to tribunal? I think that's
it is the Sports Council.
That's where you come in.
Yeah, that is where you come in. That is where we come in.
Okay, you refer them to the tribunal.
Precisely.
Okay, what's a tribunal? Maybe just to understand, do you select?
It's a team of lawyers.
Okay.
And sports persons with huge experience in sport.
Yes.
So, depending on the nature of the matter, then we would see those that may fit the profile to look at the matter.
Yeah.
At ad hoc basis, done, finish, they make their judgment, and we move. So it's a question of whether people respect that judgment or not. But having said that again, Fabrice, people have a constitutional right.
Okay, to take the issues somewhere.
If they decided to take sport issues to court, they have a constitutional right to do so.
Okay.
But those will be in defiance of the charter and will label them as the people that is in the sports movement as dissidents.
Okay. You look incompetent internationally.
Yes. Okay. No. You just say, oh, this one is disobedient. This one is not respectful of the sports order, of the charter of sport. Then you become a dissident child. But you will still be within your constitutional right.
Okay.
But for us, we will look you with those eyes.
So that's the eyes you are looking at them these days. We do have people.
I do not care whosoever it may, and I'm saying this without favor or fear.
Yes.
Yes. If you decide for some reason to ignore national structures and the Court of Sport Arbitration and decide to go elsewhere, you have all the right constitutionally. But to us in the sports fraternity, you are a dissident.
CEO, I like this. I've never understood it better. I don't think even in class they can explain it the way you just explained it. When you talked about figures with experience, Maswazi Shong, the people who've been there, maybe in Fagabona, just people with
True.
experience.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
We have Bobabe Robert Zomboze
Makakura, yes,
that can speak
Region
to these
5 now.
issues without a problem. We have people with experience and legal minds that can do that.
Okay.
That will be impartial in doing so.
My next question was to say, when do you come in? I think you explained, because you come in when you refer to the tribunal. The issue of ombudsman, how soon do you think it will be established to sort out what you have
telling you, with what is unveiling, what is rolling out in the sports fraternity,
yes.
It is a very urgent issue that we need to speak to. So we will be putting together a team of personnel, experienced personnel, and maybe one or two that will serve as sports ombudsmen to investigate complaints now of maladministration or malgovernance. Maybe people complaining about their presidents and this, then we just simply refer. They can take their issue to the sports ombudsman, who will then provide them with the correct counsel, the correct information, the correct knowledge on how things should be done within sports bodies. Without the council coming in. Yeah. The council is a regulator, but in terms of providing an enabling environment, we are coming up with the necessary legislative structures to help resolve sports issues without us saying anything.
Now, CEO, I have to let you go, but maybe just, we've got 2 minutes. Actually, we've got a minute and a half.
Yes.
And CEO, you work with international bodies. There is Region 5, there is African, what. Have they raised their concerns to you? Because they can see what's happening in the country. Have they raised their concern to your office to say, we are worried what we're seeing in the Kingdom of Eswatini?
In terms of our respect for autonomy, everybody in the sports fraternity respects autonomy, and it starts with whomsoever in the highest. For instance, let me just give you a simple example.
Okay, quickly, so yes.
If there's a problem at SwimLab is one of the
best
leading swimming clubs.
Yes.
Yes. If there's a problem at SwimLab, we do not expect anybody to pronounce himself until the SwimLab structures at the highest level pronounce themselves. Are you with me?
I'm with you, sir.
So I can sit and be seeing things roll out at SwimLab, but before the elders or the highest authority at SwimLab pronounces themselves and even seek for help through the sports structures that we have, be it the ombudsman or the tribunal, there's nothing I can say. And in fact, there's nothing I have to say.
CEO, time is against us.
So African Union,
Region 5.
Region FIFA cannot say anything unless the owners at national level pronounce themselves and seek for help.
CEO, thank you very much. How I wish we had the entire hour, but can I expose you on air? On the last Thursday of the month of December, I'm sure you'll be closing as Sport Council, preparing for the new year. We would love to have you once again to continue this issue, but I know you'll have to check your schedule. But the last Thursday for the month of December, which will be the last Thursday before you conclude there, which will be on the 19th of December, maybe we would appreciate your presence, but we'll keep in touch.
Not a problem.
But this is an issue we want to engage on and have a good conversation, and we love what you just told us and the explanation. I think we're in class for a good 25 minutes, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother. Yeah,
thank you very much. That is the Chief Executive Officer of Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council saying that we, as the Kingdom of Eswatini, you have an association. If you are taking your sport to court and you haven't exhausted all the channels, you are disobeying the Sport Council in other language. It is your right, but you're not doing the things the right way. After the break, Zakere Dlamini on a Zoom link. We'll have a conversation with him about upcoming activities of the Athletic Association.
Order KFC on WhatsApp. +268 78 33 5151.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Sithi asendlulise kudumisa kuye umlisa uphuma uyangena wekunene nani nibofakazi uphumile waya ngaphandle kwale live letinye tinkaphana abuye nato wekunene simbone ehla enyuka nawo wonke nangimathapha avula emabhizinisi
nakaya ngaphandle mind of state Mr Speaker aphuma only if kuyiwelkhethweni ayawucasta for emavotes ayawukhanvasa for emavotes but sibona thina imbobo emhlaba iya kubantu bayo ayike ofuna livote iyawubasekela iyawabakhuthata ukuthi abasebende babe munye iyawufaka kuthula sitasukuthi umise Mr Speaker lokhu sethembele ngokusinemhlaba utawufunza lokuthi vele nasifuna unyawo lolungilo vele kufuna kubiwe kangwane ulandwe nalunyawo nalo ngase libonakele Mr Speaker.
The live leli Mr Speaker sidinga everything that is positive about it and sidinga ukuthi uhulumende abonakale adeliver to complement ema efforts head of state. So in other words Mr Speaker silokhudwa lolwandle sithi songa singene kuleyo mainstream politics that direction lesayithethwe head of state.
Noma ngabe ukuliphi office noma ngabe ukuliphi litiko siyakunxusa lokho ukuthi wosina ulala na uvuka kusasa njengoba namhla iteka la parliament wonke lo office Mr Speaker avuke anjinjile ngoba speaker kumbe statinyikanyisa letitulo.
For us as a legislature, what are the policy changes that we should be prioritizing to make sure that the culture in Sayona becomes our daily culture, nanatsi, becomes our way of life. Ngoba sitinkinke ngema procedures lapha lesawa thola ngidiphethe asifuni kusuka kuwo kanzi kude la simixa khona.
Echendlovu, it was so amazing. It was just out of this world. Kubona umphathi welive recognizing just ordinary citizens. You wouldn't just imagine engcenye kube bekungimi ngabe ngakhohlwa ngalamaswati who did lokuhle kangaka for live.
Njengalokhu ingwenyama sesikhombisile ukuthi asiresponde to the concerns of emaswati. Uma sisukuma sibambana kunyento sitaku-achieve silive.
Order KFC on WhatsApp. +268 7833 5151.
Still with you, this is Eswatini TV. We are live, your Thursday edition of Temidlalo, and I'm joined by our in-house analyst, Dlamini. But at some point, I'll give him a chance to introduce himself. On the video link, also, we've got the Athletic Association President, Mr. Dlamini. He's here for two reasons. First, to talk about the issues within the Athletic Association, and later on, we use his expertise as someone who understands ethical issues that has to do with IMTSETO, as a former also Premier League of Eswatini Chief Executive Office. Now, Babel Dlamini, sikuvuse namuhla nzambamba la khona khona. Siyakuthola. Okay, there is a technical glitch as they are trying to work on that. Ngosi, nali thuba selikhona senguvusele Ngosi.
Ngiyabonga sibalo wami ngikuthola ukukhulu ngivusele umbukelo weSwatini TV loyal viewer kungilesine ebusuku. I think Fabrice kumnanzi kuhle kufika bo CEO la batofika basichazele tindzaba yanga lemitsetfo letsinza tona tindzaba tetemidlalo. I think uyabonakala msedlomo ukuthi cha sengumkantshubovu kutemidlalo and kunalomunye futhi umkantshubovu loselayinini nyalo la zakhele Dlamini president wa athletics lophinze ke imithetho yebhola uyati kwendlula abantu labaphese ibhola nangathi ngiyakutshela nawukhuluma nje ngemithetho yebhola so ngicabanga ukuthi namhla vele hayi tibonziwe bese sekuba nami ke uyangadi ke wena.
All the way from Echendlovu, Master, in-house analyst Dlamini is in the studio. Ngosi Kafishane, we're trying to see if we can reach Mr. Dlamini. Sivusele Ngosi, usekhona elayinini?
Usekhona Fabrice, ngivusele na Dlamini eceleni kwakho nabo bonke lonabo nalapho kufinyelela khona nje.
Yes, Ngosi for joining us. Ngosi, without wasting any time, let's get into the story. I think Nemsebendi loqala kusasa as Eswatini Athletic Association. Kusipha nje sithombe ukuthi kwendekani and what will be happening and where.
Okay, takhumbula ukuthi June lomnyaka wona lo Olympic Committee ubonile asiphakamisela imali lenganga 560,000 emalangeni besibidanga ukuthi imali yeprogram besibidanga DNSS. So besolo lo mkhankaso loyo ngiyakhumbula siwukhona nawe la bekhona na tender itakara from Zimbabwe longena lecture yethu. So leyo program leyo leqhubekako lesicance sifike emaphetheleni ayo le weekend njengoba soshito nje ukuthi iyaqala kusasa iphela ngelisonto lapho khona sitawubona ke for coach nema-administrators la 46 asa-graduate abathola certificate.
I think that is loud and clear. I think isitaba khona sihlole ukuthi ngabe kuhamba njani. Lokunye Kafishane Ngosi kune program yahulumende yathiwa ukuthi talent search. Mhlawumbe nje what can we expect? How far have you gone in terms of the talent search? The program Matubani.
Thanks Fabrice. It's Tingundla Athletics Talent Search lesukumiswe induna yetemidlalo babenzima le besihamba la etinkundleni citizen letinkundla tong 4 from the regions and utawukhumbula singandla bese structureishe ngayo besiyende ukuthi utabana lama zones noma ke ama preliminaries within lama zones noma ke letinkundla bese ke sekuba nema finals khona lekule ma regions lapho khona kutase ke kuphuma bantwana noma ama athletes latawube saphuma umelali region yabo kuma finals latawube se abalapha kalobamba. Yes, it is true sesicedzile ngalama preliminaries nale ma finals ema regions ngilonke ke region yalo seyinetingijimi lesetimelele yona nyalo kumela ema finals la stase siphuma khona ke nema champions. So ke sicedze ngemgcibelo lesisuka kiwo nje la khona besiphetha ngeregion yakaManzini kanye neyaseshiselweni. Sisatawa satisa ke sive ngemsombuluko nje efikile lentako ukuthi ema finals asaninike lapho khona sibheke ukuthi bonke lasebamele ifundza zabo asalebeta. Siyajabula kakhulu kulesikubonile nalesikutholile nembala kuyathembisa ukuthi lenhloso yale program le vele tawuphuma le talent lebesiyifuna khona lesitawuphuma nabo letawushiyana ukuthi bese siya ku-nurturisa sidevelope kuze kufike lapho khona nelive selingakhona ukuthi ibathume labo bantwana ngetigaba letohlukene. Fabrice behlukene ke vele njengoba besisho behlukene ukuthi besidila besibuke kubantwana laba between 10 and 15 phinze sibe nabantwana laba between 15 na 20 weminyaka bese siba nalaba ngedu utotonga lotigaba leto vele sinawo labantwana la asikahlali ke njengoba usho nje kunayo program yakusasa lecala kona khona sitaphinze dile khona pho sitawufundisa khona bona labo coach laba graduate na watabafunza ngeprogram lesibita nga-kids athletics le yona-ke i-addressa ke laba lebe singakabakhavarishi kulo between 10 15 yona-ke lesiyikhavarishi even below lo 10 lobona-ke lokuthi kuyi-program vele lephose ikhavarisha lonke leswati lelikhona kuze likhona ukudevelopheka kule sport saka-athletics.
Nkosi mhlawumbe ngiyayitsanza le aspect ukuthi ubuyela kule training lecala kusasa, because there's a question coming from the viewer ukuthi apart from le program yama 10 and nama under 10 to 15 that you'll be having, what are other programs, what are other topics that we'll be covering in tomorrow's workshop from tomorrow up to Sunday? What are other topics that we'll be covering, just to give the viewer an overview?
Okay, labo coach lesebavele bafundzisiwe ku level 1, so they are almost done with their program. Le program lesifaka kusasa towards graduation yelsonto ngileya ka kids athletics, because sesi attach lo ukuthi here is a coach losafundzile nyalo coach the athlete, but city the coach should be coupled with knowledge even to deal with umntana lomncane lona even 8-9 years. Akhona ukuthi naye amthathe through, understand, amfundzise as akhula lo mntwana akhule understand the sport of athletics. So basically the program yakusasa ngileyo, we are more on the kids athletics program attaching to the coaching program that has already been imparted to labantu lebesibafundzisa lesibawu graduate on Sunday.
All right, Smoa Kulungos. Now, I mean, we just trying to hijack you now as someone. You've got a well understanding on issues of football. We're not putting in any controversy. Don't worry about that. And you also understand legal matters when it comes to sports in general and legal matters. We had a situation where one of the biggest clubs in the land yesterday delivered a petition to the Premier League of Eswatini. The petition is stating that they want, some of the issues that including the club director, Ari Homonwe, to come on a round table and explain why he's been disappearing, why he's not treating the players fairly. According to your understanding, you also once served the Premier League of Eswatini. When you deliver a petition to someone or to an organization like Premier League, what is the expectation? What should follow? What should happen next in your way of seeing these things as a legal expert?
And unfortunately, you are now pushing me to a corner that I cannot assist you or the viewer at home. Because Lolo Kulmangago, you are saying on the other hand, I understand my structures and I take it as a compliment. I'm not one that is an expert or the one that understands better than the rest. But kulolo Kulmangago lo petition, maybe mundu anga commenta kahle if only he's involved and also understand how the Premier League of Eswatini works with clubs directors. There's so many organizations, I would say, structures within the Premier League. Nema elders, nema patrons, nema directors, nema management committee. So basically, it's not easy for me, therefore, to make a comment on that. Maybe the right procedure is that, because Nala petition, I don't know what document did they use. If sekfigile, is the PLE very called upon to act on that, and how is PLE dealing with Lama clubs or EMA structures, EMA clubs? So it's not easy for me to make a comment unless one sits down and go through EMA working documents that gives a direction as to how to deal with such a matter if and when it arises.
No, small Kulungosi, well articulated, even though we are connected, but it makes sense, yeah. It won't be fair to involve you in a matter where you don't have full information. But thank you for your information and for that clarity as well. It does help to know that once you don't have background information, it's not fair or you are not eligible to comment. But for the details you gave us about athletics, once again, we also thank you very much for that. Surely from tomorrow up to Sunday, Eswatini TV sports team will attend to see how the proceedings will be going. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Fabrice. Thank you.
Akulu Ngos, lomunye Dlamini la studio Linda Dlamini, in-house analyst. We are moving umlangeni. Gulukuni ukuthi angayichaza lenzaba, but we did say that he's got an understanding. I understand maybe why he's finding himself in a corner, but sesingavele singene kuyo lenzaba master ngoba sikhathi vele siyahamba. I-petition ifikile ithola ka Premier League of Eswatini. Premier League wavuma ukuthi uyayemukela, uyayireceive. They are still to work on it. But kuwe master, you've been in the industry for a long time. So ngasipha opinion yakho master ukuthi kuwe were they right in their right kuseva repetition?
Okay Fabrice, mhlambe singacala sivete kusile petition lama petition la mikiswe ngicabanga ukuthi ma fans embabana Islanders nema players beangithu vele. Le mikiswe ma play fans embabana Highlanders ku Premier League ayacela ku Premier League of Eswatini ukuthi ima gate takings latholakala kumbabane derby ngeweekend awangangeni ku account lephethwe ngu club director Alehomongo. Yes, bacela ukuthi le mali ayingene ibhadale badlali
labangaholi so far,
labangaholi cishe bathi ke abakaholi tinyanga letinzathu imukele ki Premier League, imukele bekunalindo lokubuke itaka marketing khona ka Premier League. Lenye ke Fabrice indzaba yema fans ama-fans ayo imbabane Highlanders nawo lakhala ngaye Alehomongo nekuthi ke Fabrice lokunye labakuvetako ukuthi lokushona abadlali la one of my senior players nje labeka khona Mbucuko ukuthi kugcina kubona yena director we team bebayodlala i-preseason eBotswana kumbona nje so akaze vele solo akaliphathi la eSwatini and abaholi imhlala kahle clubhouse ayisiyo le kahle vele le mhlambe kuma reliable sources ethu mhlambe futhi accessing ukuthi kuyafihlwa yini ku clubhouse embabana Highlanders vele bese donate ema fans afake bogesi bathenga ukudla babanengi Fabrice labanye basuka kubozulweni labanye basuka khona entasi kubolobamba labanye around mbabane bebavele bakhona bayimikisile ke yona le petition itolo emahovisini aka Premier League. Bongibuta ke Fabrice opinion yami
maybe mhlambe masa before sambe quickly to give the viewer angithula my petition kukhona icamba kuma fans ama fans kakhulu kathi vele icela ukuthi if possible bangawuthola nomhlangano na Alehomongo round table meeting bacela ukuthi lama fans vele ya Sunday etekubo and then mostly bakhala ngalokuthi futhi bacela ukuthi akhweshe ngoba vele ufanele ukuthi asekho ngoba there's nothing he's doing naloko ukhona. And then yabadlali le sign 19 players bona bakhala ngalokuthi vele indlala vele is the biggest aspect. Signing fee badlali bafaka khathi bo Fabrice Mopina bo Thabiso Mogoeng bathembisa signing fee nabafika but solo good le signing fee. All those things are involved in the petition. Uyayithatha uyayemukela Lindo Mthupha. Now sifika ku opinion yakho master. Before we speak opinion master kukhumbuza view at home that the funds that were raised on Sunday, it's 145,000 emalangeni, but the expectation it's inyalo the huge amount of the amount funeka kumbabane Swallows because kune court order lefaka khathi ukuthi iSwallows imbabane Highlanders call it iSwallows inzaba yaphuphu nawukhumbula kahle nakasuka kuSwallows ku Highlander but now uyangena ke master so sipha iopinion yakho.
Okay Fabrice, I think vele because club ema clubs lobukela ema clubs la eSwatini Premier League for Eswatini Premier League longumvana Football Association ema clubs ema fans la ngaya kokhala khona iPremier League vele lokho ngicabanga ukuthi bakhambise kahle ngicabanga kwami bakhambise kahle kukisa ka Premier League because ka Premier League kunale structure sokuthi kunale executive bese kuba nema BOGs the BOGs ngiyo la khulumela lama clubs sekumele ukuthi the BOGs including nalolo umelele licembu lembabana Highlanders as a BOG bahlale phasi bakhulume nePremier League ukuthi nama fans nama players ayakhala nganaku bathini bese ke Premier League ngoba phela etincwadi ka Premier League kukhona ukuthi club director ngibani CEO ngibani, team manager ngibani. Le structure leso Premier League udabe seyena uyasibuka angakhona Premier League ukusibita leso structure leso. Kuthi asibuye msitohlala phansi. Naku ngathi akhambi kahle nala balethe petition badlali, balethe petition ama fans because ku structure sembabana Highlanders akhona ama fans. Ku badlali ma registered players embabana Highlanders. But nje Fabrice lengaka understand ukuthi because ngibonile in interview la endene Eswatini TV na Alehomongo ukuthi uthi ufuna le mali vele ingene ku account
uphinza avume ukuthi bakoleta 2 etinyanga
bakolota 2 etinyanga ngithi ke mne Fabrice ngoba phela usithethe sprint wawathatha emakhadi badlala bakaholi eClubhouse akunakudla eClubhouse akunagesi uyifunela ini le mali
ngoba lokunye masangathi he's the only person who can access the account of the club.
Even nekudlalo imbabana Highlanders yapho sengadlali because washintsha password yekuthi kungenakale aseseke i-registration yebadlali nemakhadi on Sunday. So ngicabanga ukuthi yonke le nto iyangiconfuse mina ukuthi Fabrice ngakumuka nje mina isudu uthi wena nasoyilele kulomcimbi noma uyile emshadweni bese ngithi mina ngifuna lo luthi akuthola emshadweni kodwa ngumukile le tinto lobothi uyosebenza ngathi leni. So I think mhlambe kumoshwa common sense but I think ngicabanga ukuthi naye wahomonga if mhlambe le team seyimehlulila akabuye phasi kulabantu lakhuluma nabo lokulukhuni ke Fabrice longivimbo kuko Monday nangithi ngifuna ukukusho ngokuthi nakefika alehomongo ukhona bavu labangakhona inyalo kumquestiona because bakhona la bakhotha nakanikwa le team so kulukhuni nyalo ukuthi bangambita bathi hey baba bathola lokuncane so kulukhuni nyalo ukuthi bangambita bathi hey akhambi kahle lana la because sisu sesuthi umlomo ufumbathile awukhulumi ke nekudla emlonyeni so ngiko lokulukhuni kakhulu nyalo ukuthi nabamvu naba la some of the elders kwabakhona labakuthola so kulukhuni sibangamquestion
ngoba siyesiva bathi imoto tehla siye Pitori every weekend
nalabanye solo basakhoya beba solo bakuthola so asati lo kuyagcina in but nje mina ngiva ngathi lokhu kulimata the brand embabana Highlanders
Master. I think Monday we've got Libo Eswatini for the sake of the viewer. Time is against us. We'll try to get someone who will come here in the studio, be it among the supporters, be it among the exco. We try to say where are we? What's going to happen? Because we're still within FIFA week, so the time we're allowed to discuss this issue. Now, let's now talk about another biggest issue because sive simangele Master Namol. What's uphi coach? Sola katiba kuthi kuphi. Cingo liyangena galibambe. Team wayitshela Wednesday ukuthi hambani ndanikanze embili. Bafike hotel babhuka balala. Hawu bavuka namuhla banatsaltiya. Coach sola ke.
Ngine issue mane Fabrice neku okay anginanzaba na coach but uma ufuna ukucasha umuntu i-background imqoko. Number 2 i-interview wayenda lathi inkundla into ekuxhumana because lo muntu ukudinga ukuthi efike into interviewer i-personality nikhuluma naye umlomo nemlomo so ngiva ngathi mina kukhona mhlambe nathi la kusigila khona kulesinye isikhathi because eKenya kwaba netinkinga ta coach
the same coach
kwaba netinkinga eKenya tindzaba tabosisi waba netinkinga eZimbabwe tindzaba tabosisi netindzaba tekubhulisha abadlali so I think sine kukhona la kufike kwashiya khona extension kwa coach angisho ukuthi ulapho
uya-insinuate Master ukuthi nanyalo sinenkinga yabosisi
no angisho
allegedly not confirmed
yes but ngithi ke mne Fabrice umove mina nje nangidawufika la Eswatini TV ngicashwa kumele ukuthi ku channel X i-Sanction XY kwateke lokuthi ngihambe kanjani ngifika kanjani la Eswatini TV uyabona because ngenteka kubele bengibamba bosisi tibunu ngiyafika vele ngibabambe nala so ngicabanga ukuthi le tinfo leto if singasiko careful
I saw a comment on social media saying someone was saying that's what you get for buying items online because not saying online akathola ithuba ukuthi uyibuke kahle le
hawu nakuthenga vele Fabrice ungalithenga nalisheti nalo ulithenge kulisese kwaba nenge lama site la kuthengwa khona ufike ulikhanze ukuthi lilijaza kusilo lisheti.
Okay, but it does not mean that's what we believe in. We're just concerned as you are concerned. But these are the comments. That's what the public are saying. Now, let's talk about the game tomorrow against Guinea-Bissau. So whatever happens, if the coach is there or not there, the team has to play against Guinea-Bissau in Mbombela tomorrow. The game that is going to be kicking off at 6 p.m. local time. Now, in-house analyst Linda Master Dlamini, alongside other colleagues, this is the possible lineup. Master, if Sfiso Ndibane, as the assistant coach, takes over tomorrow, this is the team that he might start with.
Ngile team lena Fabrice ngenteka ayiqalise yena coach Sfiso Ndibane because ngenteka vele kugcina kubambena. I think kule formation le iqolani gama utawu Palini because currently is the best goalkeeper. Defense itaba na 4 defense yethu itaba na 4 utawudlala Mxolisi ku right back even though Marcelo but order because kuyang Buffaloes cishe isikhathi esiningi udlala i-left back kungenteka adlale then la central defense kuna Sleng kuna Simanga Masangane Sleng sibonga konke Sleng we Green Mamba. Then the midfield I think the midfield Siboniso uyakhumbula ngisho ukuthi is the best number 6 lesinayo but you need kwakhe because kwakhe the football brains now even the technique yakhe good and khumbula ukuthi the captain is Sfiso Mathe ususpended for this game utaba available kule mali so kule midfield una 2 lokusiboniso nakwakhe then la ngempili kwabo kancane ku the 3 attacking midfielders including the forwards kuna Philane Mkhonvo lotawudlala i right wing but akhathe in angene avumele ukuthi Marcela ovalephe then ngala ka left kuna Owe naye lotawuthatha i defense ayipushe wide avulele tikhala avulele junior semati ukuthi ngala ku D-line noma outside the box ukuthi kanganani even nakuma passes lotawenda ukuthi Sikhali as a number 9 yena junior ngicabanga is the best number 10 lesinayo la ekhaya lotawuba wathola lawo ma passes for Sikhali ngicabanga ukuthi currently uyalida na even na M10 Premier League with 10 goals nyalo so far utaba leading striker against yona Guinea-Bissau.
Siyahamba Master, prediction? So put it Master.
Ngaput.
Siyahamba Master, 10 seconds.
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Linda Lamina, in-house analyst. The game is tomorrow, 6 p.m. local time, Mbombela Stadium in the Republic of South Africa. We're using that as a home ground against Guinea-Bissau. We don't have chances to qualify, but we have to complete the games within the group. So after tomorrow, which is Friday, the next game is on Tuesday in Mali, where they have to travel to Bamako to face Mali. So that's how we're standing as a country, because that's where the situation is. Let's hope by the time tomorrow, kickoff at 6 p.m., the Croatian Lugorizic will be around. But so far, that's what we had for you. Eswatini TV sports team, as you know.
Order KFC on WhatsApp. +268 7833 5151.
Now on at Pep. Nourishing skincare that won't break the bank? Yay! Buy 2 brand new tissue oils for 50. Black Friday is better with Pep.
Hello there, everyone. What's up? What's up? What's up? Can I get an ow, ow, ow? Yes, is it that bad? No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Thankfully, it's indoors. Yeah.
It's growth.
Asambege, the show that pushes local celebrities out of their comfort zones and into uncharted territories. Get ready to witness the ultimate clash of skills, the battle of the unknown and the test of celebrity mettle. Can they cook up a storm in the kitchen? Can they hit the high notes on stage? We're taking them out of their element and throwing them into the deep end. Don't miss the fun, the drama,